Welcome to Balance Body and Beyond. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to have a full body yoga practice designed for all skill levels and just to give you a little bit of everything to fill that yoga checkbox, if that's what's on your list today, and make you feel wonderful by the time it's all said and done. So roll out your mat, hit subscribe, hit like, share this channel, and join me for a, like I said, wonderful yoga practice. Let's start in a seated position. So if you feel comfortable with your legs crossed, by all means, cross your legs and sit tall. If it feels better to take a leg out or sit in some other seated position in which you can still lengthen your spine and elevate your heart, get comfy, and we'll begin with some very light shoulder rolls. Drawing air in and out through our nostrils, plugging movement in with our breath early on. Inhaling, lift, exhaling, lower. Might shut your eyes for a moment and just feel what's around you. As I'm sitting outdoors, there is a light breeze, and I can just feel the air brushing across my body. And then to change directions, we're going to take our fingertips to our shoulders and change directions of your shoulder roll. A little bit of more awareness with our fingertips resting at our shoulders. Feel the air flowing in and out of your body. Deep breaths in and long breaths out. Using our breath to calm us, to quiet our minds, and to set the tone for our practice. Bringing our fingertips back to our knees. We're going to lift and twist, looking over our shoulder. Look forward, and then switch. Feel free to hold the stretch longer. Move with your breath. See if you can look farther back behind you. Sometimes those neck muscles will get put under stress and they get tight, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can't turn my head. So let's see where we're at today. Don't force, don't strain, but let's work through any tightness, restricted areas, any sore spots. Looking forward. Now we'll round the back, pull the chin in, look to your belly button. Inhale, lift through the chest, draw your shoulder blades together. Exhale, round. Inhale, open, and you can kind of see how my arms are moving a little bit as I round, my elbows flare forward. As I open, my shoulder blades squeeze together and my arms drop down a little closer to the side of my body. But most importantly, the curvature of my spine is changing. And one more. Lift and hold, sitting tall. Inhale all the way up. And we're going to take a side bend now. Arm rest right over our ear, and then switch sides. See if you can straighten your arm and reach right out through your fingertips. You can tuck your chin in, look under your arm. We'll try one more on each side. Easing into the stretch, easing into our yoga practice. Both arms down, and I'm going to have you point your fingertips to your hips, lean back, open through your chest. Maybe you lift your hips. And then our hips will come down. We'll keep our hands planted behind us, and we'll take our heels onto the ground. And I'm going to suggest you take your feet a little wider, and we're going to fan the legs side to side. So we'll incorporate some lower body movement here to get warm. Maybe you take your feet even wider. You can try it. Create a little more space for the knees to touch down. Can you lift your hips while doing this? So try to lift your hips and then lift your hips. Yeah. If they don't lift, that's okay. You can try. Always try. Set goals. Have intentions. Strive for something. One more. Beautiful. We'll send our legs out wide. So we're going to sit tall. We're going to roll our toes in and out. Some movement, changing how our legs are resting into our hips. So toes in, toes out. A little work to that as well. All right, now flex your feet, toes up, arms wide. We're going to twist and reach for the inside of our big toe. Come back up and then switch. And if you're familiar with Pilates, Joseph Pilates, the creator of our traditional Pilates style exercises, created this particular exercise in his format. I love it. It's very effective. I love it because it incorporates the stretch, but then we work our waistline. Dynamic movement to get the body warm and prepared for our stronger and bigger poses. Hold here, and let's slide our body weight so our feet move behind us, and we're gonna come into child's pose. Join your big toes together and press your hips back. Let's take a moment to feel the stillness in this child's pose. Breathe into those restricted areas, maybe the sore areas. Try to let your elbows relax down if they can get there. Relax through your facial muscles. And every time you inhale, see if you can pick your fingertips up and spread your fingers. Exhale, you can release your fingertips back down to the mat. So a little attention to our hands. Inhale, stretch through your fingertips. Exhale, relax down. Taking away the worries of the world through some deep breathing exercises. We're going to slowly glide our body weight forward, coming into tabletop. I'm going to have you rotate your hands so your fingertips point out, and we're going to make a little circle over our wrists just to gently warm up through the wrists. Begin feeling some pressure through our palms. My fingers are spread wide. Yeah. Change directions. Drawing your bellies in, being aware that you're not arching the back, but supporting your spine with your belly drawn in. Hold here. We're going to return to child's pose one more time, but we're going to get a little more shoulder stretch here. As you sink into your child's pose, take your left arm and rest it behind you. Do some internal rotation of the shoulder. And then you might feel your left shoulder kind of draping to your left knee. Stretch out your right arm right to the center of your mat. And then just gently turn your head. See if you can look under your right arm and let the side of your face rest heavily down into the mat. You might rock the hips a little bit, get sorted out in the stretch. And then switch. So we'll extend our left arm to the center of the mat. Right arm wraps back behind you. You can peek under your left arm with the right side of your face resting down into the mat. As I was gazing out to the other side, I was looking at the corn, which is now turning brown, right? It's a time of change of season. And with change of season often comes change in yoga practice, change in maybe our lifestyle or our habits. Extend your arms. So I suggest welcoming change. Maybe it's change for the better. Like, we need change routinely. We do need change. Both arms are reaching forward. And then we'll glide our body weight forward and come into a high plank. So if you have the strength to set up high plank, join me on the balls of your feet. Or still, very challenging, working from your knees, but have really solid form in whatever you choose. Okay, whatever you choose today, own it. Do it your very best way. And be very intentional. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, lift your hips and set downward dog. I invite you to pedal out the feet, shift the weight a little bit, working into our downward dog. See if you can gaze towards your toes. Maybe picking up the feet entirely and spreading the toes before you reset them. Kneading your feet into the mat. Let's hold our downward dog. And you're going to walk your hands in a little closer together. From here, we'll walk our feet forward, but we're going to straddle the hands today. So we set up a wider stance in our forward fold, and then let your upper body hang. You could wrap your arms around your legs, pull your body into your thighs. Let your head hang heavily, keeping your chin tucked in and looking directly what's behind you. We're going to lower our hands back to the mat and roll up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. We're going to keep our feet where they're at. I'm rotating my toes out slightly, and you're going to squat and then lean to the left, picking up your right heel, and then we'll change ways, leaning to the right. So side to side, we're going to sandwich our head between our elbows as we do alternating heel lifts, reaching side to side. Maybe you lift your heel a little higher. Maybe you point your toe and you just feel your tippy toe touching the mat. Maybe you're feeling ambitious and you want to lift your foot, and you could do that. Just one more. And then come back. We'll lower your arms down. We're going to join our feet side by side. So my big toes are touching and I'm leaving a little space between my heels, creating a solid foundation to work from, arms overhead. And we're going to move into chair pose. We'll do a handful of flows coming in and out of chair pose, working some big arm circles to generate more warmth in the body. I just picked up my toes and I spread them wide, grounding down into the mat. I don't know, a handful is about 5, right? So let's hold this one at the top and swan dive down. Holding your forward fold with our feet together compared to wide. Just take note, how does that feel? We're going to do some alternating knee bends, shifting our weight, rocking our hips a little bit, all with the intention of getting our best stretch. And then pausing. Inhale halfway up, lengthening our spine. See if you can draw your shoulders away from your ears. Create this really long back and pull your chin in. Exhale, fold, and we're going to send our left leg behind us. So opening through our hips. Try this with me. See if you can pick your fingertips up. If you can't pick your fingertips up, maybe it's because you're all the way up here, or you're just not feeling balance between your feet. Maybe that means you should put your back knee down. I'm just making suggestions. You do what you need to do. But again, quality movements. Let's take a twist, bringing our right arm up. So look to your right hand. Fingers are spread wide. And if you were to shoot a web right out through your fingertips of your right hand, where would that web be directed to? Would it be directed right up to the sky or off to the side? So ideally, we want to shoot our web right up into the clouds. Fingertips reaching high over your shoulder. All right, both hands down. Put your back knee down, and we're going to come into a half kneeling position. Open up wide, and we'll take some bows. Knuckles together, and then open up through your heart space. So earlier we were in our seated position, rounding and opening, right? Very similar right here. Just like cat-cow, feeling the curvature of the spine change. Hold here, open up. Can you let your arms just straight behind you and look to the sky one more time? Balancing. Now, can you take your left hand and reach for the heel of your foot and bring your right arm up to the sky? Yeah, there's my heel. Awesome. Both hands up. Woo. Both hands down. And send both legs back. We're going to set up a side plank here. I invite you to work from the knees to start and lift your left hand up. And once you find your side plank, you pick what works. Staying on the knee, maybe lifting your top leg, scissoring the feet, picking one foot in front of the other, or stacking the feet. Yeah, maybe lifting the top leg. Lots of choices in side plank. All right, come to your front plank. We'll do the other side when we get to the other half of the body. Lower your chest and then peel your chest up for cobra. We're gonna extend our arms out in front of us. So in my yoga classes that I teach at my home gym, pull your elbows in, lift your chest. This particular exercise, along with many other back extension exercises, I watch folks, and it is hard. It is hard for folks to do this body posture because it involves back strength and openness from the front of the body. But it's not impossible, and you can do it with practice. Maybe you need to let your hands rest down and you practice here. Maybe you just elevate your palms a little bit and you practice here. But practice is the key word, and that's why we're here today. Pull your elbows in and hold, and place your palms now down to the mat. Push up, high plank. Exhale, downward dog. Moving your feet forward. We're going to stay put here for just a moment, and you're going to bring your right leg up in the air. If you have blocks or something to raise your hands, that might make this exercise more achievable for you. Bend the right knee, and then you're going to roll your hips so your belly button points to the right side of the room. All right, let's bring both feet down and now try that on the other side. So pick your left leg up, bend your left knee, and then just see if you can open up the hips a bit. Yeah, so now your belly button points to the left side of the room. Both feet come down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive. And let's come into chair pose. As we hold this chair pose, you're going to squeeze your knees together and then just separate an inch. Squeeze your knees together and then just separate. Bringing some attention and awareness to the strength in our legs. Holding a secure chair pose. Separate just an inch and stay there. Big circle up. And swan dive down. Look to the back of your mat. Pull your chin in. Inhale, half lift. As we fold, our right leg goes back on this round. Ooh, yes. Now practice this with me. Pick up your fingertips. Can you do that? Maybe you're better off with your back knee down. Can you stay there and balance a little longer without putting your hands down? Didn't say it would be easy. All right, hold here. We'll set up our twist, bring our left arm up, and let's shoot the web. Where's that web directed? Right up to the clouds, straight up. Fingers are spread, active through the entire arm, pushing a little harder in through your feet to alleviate any pressure in the bottom hand. Both hands come down. We'll all put our back knee down onto the mat and come up into a half kneeling position. Open wide, and we'll do our bows, knuckles together, chin in. Open your heart, thumbs back. Exhale. Inhale. Open and hold. Look to the sky. And then here we'll let our arms drape alongside our body so our fingertips point down, our shoulders are relaxed. See if you can lean back farther and send your right hand to find the heel of your foot. And then your left arm reaches up. And again, shoot the web straight up to the clouds. Well done. Inhale, arms can come up. Hands can come down. Are you ready for the side plank on the other half of the body? Let's try it. Right arm lifts. Now, I set you up before starting on your knees. So remember, you can put your knee down and you can lift one leg or keep it lower. I went into the scissor right as we started. You can stack your legs, and remember, lifting the top leg from there is also another option, which certainly is more challenging. Hips are high. Push the mat away from you with your hand and your feet. Front plank. Chest lowers down. Peel your chest up. We're going to do one more round of back extensions, giving ourselves a little bit of everything, just like I suggested at the start of our practice. Fingertips at temples with our palms down, and then reach out. Inhale, exhale. Drawing your shoulder blades together, elbows stay up. Feel how you're strengthening the posterior chain, your postural muscles. Two more. And hold, fingers at temples, chest up. palms to mat. Toes curl under, push up, high plank. Exhale, downward dog. Outstanding. Let's move the feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive. We're going to interlock our fingers overhead and then rotate hands, palms up. Standing tall, full body stretch. We'll add a bend, side bend. And then switch. Feeling wonderful? Inhale, lift. Chair pose. I hope you're feeling wonderful. Just getting your mat rolled out, spending time on the mat, caring for yourself, being kind to your bodies. Inhale. I applaud you for all those things. Exhale, forward fold. And send your both legs back behind you. Coming to our knees. And setting child's pose one more time. Ooh, we are getting closer down to our mat. That's lovely. Awesome. Let's go ahead and lay on our backs. We are going to head into both bridge pose and then add a quadricep stretch to that. So as you lay back, you're going to walk your heels in towards your butt and go ahead and lift your hips. Let's take our bridge and just feel the stretch to the front of the body as we enter bridge and the work on the back side of your body. This is another great complement to our back extension exercises, targeting many of the same muscle groups. And then we'll lower the hips and lift the hips. We'll do some dynamic moving bridges here. Spread your toes, have an awareness your toes are pointing directly away from your body, not pointing outward or inward. Feeling the hip hinging. You're going to leave your hips down, and I'm going to have you take your right hand and see if you can reach for your left foot. I find that setting up for this pose with our hips down is a better way to set up. And then go ahead and lift for bridge. Sometimes I'll have folks set up while they're already in bridge, and that can get a little sticky. So, anywho, we are holding a single leg bridge while feeling this fabulous quadricep stretch. And if you can't reach for your foot, just try to bend your knee in some fashion. Push the outside of that left thigh down into your mat so you can get there. Holy smoke-a-roly. That is some stretch. Lower your hips down, and then let's untangle. So now slide this right foot underneath the left leg. So you can grab your foot. That side I can grab so much easier. And then set up your bridge. This is not a stretch I routinely do in my practices that I've actually shared with you. It's a tougher pose, I think. I do try to select poses that I think most folks can get into with even modifications. This is a little more challenging. But see what you can manage. All right, let yourself down. Hug both legs into the chest. And we're going to take dead bug pose, starting to get our feet up over our body. And when you're in this dead bug pose, some folks like to reach for the outside of their feet. Some folks will reach behind their legs. See where you can reach. Pull your knees in towards your armpits. And you do a little rock side to side. Cry baby. And maybe even try going all the way over to one side gently. And the other side. Again, that's not going to work for all folks. You may have a different variation. If it feels good, it's productive, it's giving your body what it's asking for, then do it. Don't be shy. Don't feel like you can't, because you know what? You very much can. Hold here. And just remember that you can. You can, you can, you can. It's a great mantra. Bring both legs together, legs up a wall pose. Roll your ankles, wiggle your toes. Other way. Lay your legs flat down onto the mat. Might shut your eyes. Just taking the last little piece of time here. To fully unwind. Let go of any worries, stressors, or tensions. Celebrate your yoga practice and be proud. Be proud of what you just accomplished. Time out for stillness is perhaps the most valuable time out. We'll roll to the right side of our body. And rising into a seated position. Right where we started, but hopefully you have a very different perspective. You're seeing things in a different light, a new vision. Keep taking care of yourself. Make time for wellness, or you will be forced to take time for illness. Namaste, my friends. Have a fabulous day, and I'll see you next time on Balanced Body and Beyond. Thank you.